U.S. President Joe Biden has decided to nominate former Treasury Secretary Jack Lew as the country's next ambassador to Israel. A White House spokesman told the Times of Israel on Tuesday. Lew, 68, who serves in former President Barack Obama's cabinet and White House chief of staff, will be the most distinguished political figure to be appointed to the sensitive task in Jerusalem. Biden's decision to nominate everyone, exposing his administration to Senate confirmation process that Republicans will turn into a referendum on President's Israeli policies as 2024 presidential campaign begins, shows how seriously Biden takes U.S.-Israeli relationship. Lew's nomination comes at a particularly sensitive time in U.S.-Israeli relations. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government aims to push forward the highly controversial judicial overhaul, despite Washington's repeated requests that such far-reaching reforms be advanced only with consensus support. There are serious shortcomings in the solid coalition. Lew, if approved, will also be tasked reining in Israeli government's efforts to further expand footprint of settlers in West Bank, along with its broader stricter policies towards Palestinians, which coincided deadliest year of conflict since then. Second Intifada. The Biden administration is also working mediate a normalization agreement between Israel and Saudi Arabia and is considering intense demands from Riyadh to get the deal the target. U.S. officials, such as former Ambassador Tom Nides, have repeatedly warned Jerusalem that controversial policies towards Palestinians and judicial reform make it difficult to secure a normalization deal. At this time in U.S.-Israeli relations, presence of a high-ranking person who is direct representative of president and respected internationally and on both sides is as important as it has been since 1990s. Announcing his decision to nominate Lew to the Times of Israel, the senior administration official said, as a former Treasury Secretary and Chief of Staff, not to mention all other great qualities Mr. Lew has brought to the office, there is no better one. Official continued. When every word matters, when every meeting counts, and when it's important for the president to be heard openly in Jerusalem, there is no greater public official with more credibility and a track record of success on matters than when Mr. Lew speaks, you know he is speaking for the president, the official added. No one in Israel has more authority than this to deal with a politically complex situation right now. And it shows how much the president values U.S.-Israel relations and getting it right. Given that we have such a talented chargé d'affaires in Jerusalem, there were a lot of people who thought maybe we should nominate anyone. They said, citing Stephanie Hallet, who has led the U.S. Embassy since Nides' resignation. About 20 months later, in July, he set out to spend more time with his family. But fact that the presid